Hi friends, I hope you're doing well on this sunny hot day. I am going to read you a story called The Beeman, and it was written by a lady named Laurie Krebs and illustrated by Valeria Cis. And I hope you'll enjoy it. There are so many rhymes, and we'll start off with a poem by Aileen Fisher, one of my favorite poets. There wouldn't be sunflowers, wouldn't be peas, wouldn't be apples or apple trees if it weren't for fuzzy old buzzy old bees dusting pollen from off their knees. Okay, so here we go. Here's the story of the Beeman. Here is my grandpa, who's known in our town as the Beeman. Here is his jacket with zippered up hood that covers his face just the way that it should when he visits his hives as the Beeman. I'm going to move this a little bit so you can see the pictures better. Here are his gloves made of cotton and leather, protecting his hands in all kinds of weather when he tends to his hives as the Beeman. Here's the beehive where all the bees sleep, tucked into a box called a shallow or deep, and then placed on a stand by the Beeman. Here is the smoker that quiets the bees, and a hive tool that opens the beehive with ease, for a much closer look by the Beeman. Here is the queen bee who does her job well and lays tiny eggs in a six-sided cell. She's the heart of the hive, says the Beeman. Do you see which one she is? Here are the drone bees with big bulging eyes and a large appetite supporting their size. They mate with the queen, adds the Beeman. These are all the male bees. Drones are all male. Here are the workers, 10,000 or more, who gather the nectar and bring back and store in honeycomb cells for the Beeman. You remember that all the worker bees are female. Here are the house bees with swift-moving wings that dry up the nectar a worker bee brings, making honey for me and the Beeman. Here's the extractor. It's clickety-clack, removing the honey from frames on its rack and filling up jars for the Beeman. Here's some of the honey returned to the hive. It's food for the bees to help them survive the long winter days near the Beeman. Here are the bees protected from harm inside the hive, huddled cozy and warm. So they'll be here next year, says the Beeman. Here is the wagon filled up to the brim with bottles of honey collected by him and brought to the house by the Beeman. Here are the muffins all warm and delicious and dripping with honey on Grandma's best dishes. I'm glad that my grandpa's the Beeman. Here's some information about bees and bee colonies. A little bit of more information about beekeeping and all of the tools that go along with beekeeping. Here's some information about honey and pollination and bee dancing. Bet you didn't know that bees could communicate through dance. And here's a recipe for Grandma's apple and honey muffins. Maybe you might want to try that. And I hope you enjoyed our book. I would love to talk more about bees with you. So let's talk on our Facebook site. We'll see you soon. Bye.